Everyone, and welcome to today's session. We are going to talk a little bit more about investing than what meets the eye. And, I like to use color and interesting things to catch your eye. What is inside your investments? And I know so many people wonder, well, what do you mean by that, Amy? Like, what do you mean what's inside my investments? I don't know. I have an investment. It's a whole bunch of things that are inside of there. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you about today. And the best way for me to describe this is to refer to food. I am a huge foodie. Many of you already know that. And so because I have so many food allergies, I really have to pay close attention as to what goes inside my body. And if you yourselves want to live your best life, you too have to live a balanced life and have a balanced diet. And so how would you implement that in everyday life? Well, many of us look at food labels. And we can look at the calories, the sugars, the protein, but is that all that is really within the food? No, there's more to it than just that. And that's kind of what we want to go further into today in regards to your investments as well. And that's why we bring food into it, because it's a great example. Now, when we look at food, or when I look at food, I really have to look at the ingredients. And I say that because just because something has only 3 grams of sugar on the summary, the first label, doesn't mean that it doesn't have some of the ingredients that I can't have in my body. Now, if you think about sugar as one of them, there's how many different words for sugar itself. And so I have to go through each of these ingredients to make sure that there's nothing hidden within my food that's going to make me react. Now, when I want to talk to you about the investment side of it, what are you holding within your investments that may not sit well in you, that you may not want to support, but you don't even know you're supporting it because we haven't looked this closely into the label of your investment, the holdings. And so why is this important? I love this question, you guys, because what happens when you add fuel to a fire? The fire grows, it gets bigger. Well, the same is true for your investments. What you put money to will grow. And so some of these areas that maybe you do or don't want to put money towards may include, but not limited to, maybe weapons, animal cruelty, the pornography industry, human trafficking, gambling, there's fossil fuels, there's cannabis, and the list could go on as to what you may or may not want to invest in. Now, this is why I ask you this question is, what do your investments hold? Do you fully understand what's within them? Because if there's certain things that don't make you feel good inside, that maybe don't align with your values or your belief system, then we want to make sure we're not putting that into your investment. Because if we put money to that industry will grow and get bigger. And that's the last thing we want for you to have that. We wish for you to feel really good about your money, and we want your money to work for you. So if you want the world to change, you have to be the change. And little by little, we can make a really big difference, have a big impact. So because we've talked about a few of the things that may be within your investments, how does that make you feel knowing this? If you had food that had a hidden ingredient and you knew you couldn't have it, but it was hidden because it was a different name, would that make you feel good or bad? Would you want to do better? Would you want to look a little deeper, dive in? I would like to hope so. We really need to weigh out our options. So many people think that when we look at investments that you either have the return or you give up the return to have these feel-good investments. And that is not the case at all. What I really want you to weigh out though, what are you okay with living with? Are you okay knowing that some of your investments are supporting those industries? No judgment, no shame. Everybody's got their own opinion and that is good. We need to have our own opinions. But if you feel inside, you're like, okay, yeah, no, I'm just really not okay with that, then we need to make some changes to your holdings and what you're in. The reason why this is so important, because it comes down to where your heart's at. And so many people will come to me and say, well, you know what, I need this return, Amy. That's wonderful. If you are chasing a return, likely, I'm honestly probably not the advisor for you if you're chasing a return on your money. Because there's so much more to living a significant life than chasing the dollar. And I am about whole life excellence in all areas. I know the importance of having a good return to getting you to your goals, trust me, but I know that we can do it in a way that makes you feel good also. And that is key. And that is respecting you, and that's respecting me. Now, when you look closer, that's when you start to see the truth. When we start uncovering some layers, some levels, you can see what's inside. But we do that for you. We know that you are busy and you've got a lot of things going on. So we actually do the digging and we present to you different options that are going to align with what you want to support and what you don't want to support. The other area of topic we really need to discuss is what is the right investment for you? We have also different vehicles. When I say vehicles, I mean, you've got a tax-free savings account, a registered retirement savings account, maybe an RESP, registered education savings account, or even non-registered. The registered ones are tax sheltered and the non-registered are not. Now, do you know what limits you can put in different places? Now, within that, are you holding a mutual fund? Maybe stocks or bonds or GICs or a segregated fund. Do you know the difference between all of them? I really play in the realm of mutual funds and segregated funds. And mutual funds is an investment and it's a pool of money that is diverse, that is matched to you and what your objectives are, your risk tolerance, how you feel about the market going up and down, the volatility of it, and what your goal is. Now, a seg fund is a little bit different because it is an investment, but it has a insurance wrapper. And when we talk about insurance, insurance is there to protect you. And so when you have an investment with an insurance wrapper, kid you not, you've got some added protection there for you. Now, this is important to understand when you would need a segregated fund and when is it a good time to have a mutual fund. And maybe you need a little bit of both. Now, segregated funds come into play and are really, really good if privacy, you really want to keep your money private. So if you were to pass away, all of a sudden your money goes into probate and death taxes, all of that. We have to clean up that estate. Now, when you have money into a segregated fund, that actually bypasses your probate. And so it's 100% private. People won't know what's going on with your money, which is a great feature. Another great feature with the segregated funds is the fact that it is creditor protection. So let's say you are an entrepreneur, you have a small business, and you have your money into a segregated fund, and all of a sudden, maybe something happened and there's a lawsuit and they're coming after you. At least your money is within a segregated fund. It's an investment, it's growing, but it's got that extra layer of protection around it that is creditor proof. Or in case the business maybe goes under, who knows? There's lots of scenarios and circumstances that this can be very helpful. Another great feature is that you can lock in guarantees with a segregated fund that you cannot with a mutual fund. A mutual fund, the market's going to do its thing and you kind of got to ride that roller coaster. And for some of us, riding that roller coaster can be very stressful and can keep us up at night. Now, for those people that want to know that their money can't go below a certain point, a segregated fund is a great tool because you can lock in 75% guarantee or even 100%. So think about those areas of concern. What keeps you up at night and what is most important for you? If privacy is important for you, creditor protection important for you, or even guarantees are important to you, then segregated funds are probably the vehicle within the tax-free savings account or RSP or even non-registered, maybe the way you would want to go. Now, if those things aren't important for you, maybe mutual funds the way to go. Now, you're going to hear lots of people talk about MERS, management expense ratios. So the fees, your cost to do business within an investment of mutual funds or seg funds. And some people will say that segregated fund, there's a higher cost to have it, but there's a trade-off. But the cost of the investment, there's a great commercial out there. RBC talks about it. There's more to the story than just what you pay for your investment, because there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And so you may pay a higher fee to have something, but if it's going to outperform something else or give you those added layers of protection, then it is worth it, hands down. So we really need to talk to you and figure out what that looks like for you. And you need to know and understand the workings of them. That's why we are here, because we are here to help educate you and walk you through. Now, here at You Insure, we have many different things for you to choose from when it comes to your investments. We have BRI, which is value-based investing. Biblical responsible investing is another term for it. Impact investing, where we're really looking to make an impact somewhere or in some area or field, which is great. Or ESG even. ESG is getting a lot of rave and buzz right now, environmental, social, and governance. It has been shown that when companies take these factors into consideration, they do better than other funds perhaps. And I love saying to people, what was investing way back when? Investing way back when is when you had a local business that you believed in and you wanted to support because they had a great mission statement, they had great values and purpose. And so you were like, yeah, I'm gonna back that. It's no different than shopping local. Why do we shop local? Well, we want to back that. We want them to thrive and do well and grow. Well, the same is true for these companies that are putting impact investing and environmental and social and governance investing or, value-based investing within their portfolios. They're going to grow and do well. And so we really want you to jump on board, because remember, what you put your money to, that industry will grow. And so put more thought to that. We love having conversations and talking about what's important to you. What do you want to support? What don't you want to support? And finding that great balance for you where you feel good at the end of the day and you have that peace of mind. So reach out. We would love to have this talk with you. You can scan and book an appointment with us and we'd be happy to chat. Hope to talk to you soon, you guys. Bye.